Bit of altcoin news, guys. Crypto.com's Cronos has achieved instant finality, putting it in the top 10 fastest blockchains on the market, which is not necessarily easy to do, guys. And it's important that I tell you what finality is. When you're dealing with transactions per second, excuse me, that's the payments discussion, okay? How many payments can you process in a second, right? We already know some of the most premier blockchain networks, payment networks, they're peaking at 1,000 transactions per second. I'm trying to recall transactions per second in the crypto space that are plus 1,000. That list is very exclusive, right? Very exclusive. But finality is a bit different. Finality on a blockchain has more to do with not just payment transactions, but interactions on your blockchain. So let's just say you're using an app and you want to explore their Web3 browser. So that way you can get involved with the NFT marketplaces on that particular chain. You get into that browser and it takes you a total of 5 minutes to navigate from the wallet portion to the browser to the particular site you want to get to the particular NFT you want to find. If it takes that long, that's because the chain you're using, their finality ain't that quick. When you're dealing with chains that have instant finality, like Algorand, Avalanche, BNB, Celo, Cronos now, moving around the app is almost as seamless as your banking application or a social media app, moving through Twitter, moving through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. That's the importance about finality. And in the blockchain space, it is even more crucial because, as they explain in a press release, this directly impacts user interface and usability of your particular application. It just puts the nail in the coffin for a new person coming into crypto. They want to get involved with DeFi. They finally get their money together. They finally learn how to take funds from one chain to another in order to get involved with the DeFi. And then they get to the DeFi application and it's sluggish and it's clunky and it looks like crap. And on top of all of that, it's slow. That's finality. That's too high. It's too many seconds. I have observed in my 6 years in this space, certain chains achieving this. Not every network can achieve this. As a matter of fact, I'm getting this data from ChainSpec. You go to ChainSpec's list and you can see they updated fresh this morning. You'll only see about 12 networks that have already achieved instant finality. So when it comes to asking the question, is it time to buy Cronos now? I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it because, like I said, this is tough to achieve. This is definitely tough to achieve, guys. But now that crypto.com has done it, it magnifies all of which you're seeing here. Okay? All of the stuff you're seeing here, from gaming to lending to wallets to yield to exchanges, NFTs, infrastructure partners. This is going to improve the interface, the connectivity across the board, ladies and gentlemen. And when you zoom out and look at the macro for crypto.com, man, I know I haven't covered it in a long time, but I keep my eye on the Cronos network. It's hard to avoid Cronos, especially with how much I watch sports. It's hard to avoid crypto.com. All right. Just got done watching Chicago street race. What did I see on one of them walls? Crypto.com. All right. It's tough to avoid. But with this now instant finality, ladies and gentlemen, this puts them in rarefied air. It puts them on the same tier as Solana, genuinely. The only difference is the price at this point. So, just to make it clear, because I did write down specifically what would be improved. We're looking at increased overall transaction throughput. So this not only includes finality, but there will be a bump in transactions per second, near instant responsiveness, and improved developer interface for applications, reduced latency for real-time on-chain transactions. So again, their NFT exchange, NFT interface, their DeFi, which is ran by VVS Finance. All of these little things are about to improve, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've been using Cronos, if you've been using crypto.com, or if you've been thinking about getting into crypto.com, this would be the best time. Because I still remember when they were piecing all of this stuff together, ladies and gentlemen, when this ecosystem wasn't nearly as big as it is, and this isn't even an updated snapshot. This is like 2023. Crypto.com is tokenizing stocks. Crypto.com is supporting yield RWA instruments here in the United States. Crypto.com has added PayPal USD into their fold. Crypto.com has added USDC into their fold. And Crypto.com already had Tether. They're also launching prepaid debit cards for US customers, which is something I hadn't seen in this space. And then just to put the icing on the cake, they've extended their relationship with the Philadelphia 76ers. I remember when I added crypto.com to my Elite 8 in 2021, 2022. Folks, I'm about ready to do it again. This is that time. Between July and October is when I began to craft the Elite 8 for the next cycle. And with everything that we have learned since we last set up an Elite 8 in 2023, it is even tougher to put these to make this list, man. It's even tougher to put this list together. All right. But Cronos, guys, I like what I'm seeing coming out of it. Now that they've achieved instant finality from a technical level, from an operational standpoint, you can't beat crypto.com. Cronos can't be touched. It's got the EVM compatibility, and under the hood, it's running something called the Cosmos SDK. Guys, I do not know why Cosmos is not getting the credit it deserves when pretty much all of these networks that don't use Ethereum are using Cosmos. Just as powerful, fast, speed. But the thing is, with Cosmos, we're talking about an infrastructure play. So that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.